They will, when it has reached a certain point, produce a movement of the Earth's crust over the rest of the Earth's body, and this will displace the polar regions toward the equator.
The chief scientist of the IRAS satellite actually announced having found this planet December 30th, 1983. It was picked up by 6 dailies. It made the Washington Post. It's one of those daily newspapers that picked it up. Very quickly thereafter, they wanted to make sure people understood that it was a mistake.
Some geologists now believe that at least 3 separate geographical pole shifts have occurred throughout the last 10,000 years. However, if the effects of a cataclysmic event, such as those described in ancient records, are indeed contributing to the shifting of Earth, then another question arises, another missing piece to the puzzle. If the gaps in ancient technology and knowledge were a testament to ancient achievement, then remnants of such a vast civilization would exist, remnants that would exceed far beyond the ruins we've already discovered.
But remnants are there. It's been hiding right under our noses. Off the coast of Cuba, India, Australia, Japan, nearly every continent, we're finding massive cities built by previous civilizations, which we have no record of whatsoever. Some of these cities are up to 2,000 feet under the ocean surface and mostly intact, as if they just sank into the ocean. Not the city themselves, but the entire landmass that the city was on just slowly sank into the ocean. Only now, in the last 20 years, in the later half of the 20th century and the first half of the 21st century, have we developed the technology to even discover these cities. And more are being discovered every year.
Ancient underwater cities are not the only clues hiding in plain sight. As more pieces to the puzzle are revisited, they now seem to fall right into place. Since a geographical pole shift would most likely result in a permanent change in the axis of the Earth, the effects would also have immediate implications on global climate, causing new weather patterns and regional temperature changes. Places that were once desert might now be plush, or areas that were once abundant with vegetation and life may become a frozen wasteland, areas like Antarctica.
Recently, scientists have discovered huge petrified forests underneath the ice in Antarctica. These trees have grown as high as 80 feet and have leaves, which is indicative of warm climate trees. This, without a doubt, shows us that this region was once very warm and swarming with life.
Every indication that about 4,000 years ago, the South Pole and the North Pole moved. The North Pole, I believe, was in somewhere north of the state of Wisconsin, and the South Pole was out in the Pacific Ocean. And scientists know pretty much for a fact by direct measurement that the ice cap on Antarctica is no more than 4,000 years old. And in fact, Antarctica prior to that was occupied. It was actually had animals and, I believe, human civilization. Siberia was a tropical climate 4,000 years ago with mammoths. If you saw the one they dug out of the Siberian tundra, this was a tropical animal that was quick frozen in the tundra with tropical plants frozen in its...
Do you know where 90% of the population of the United States lives? Within 20 miles of a coast. It would not take much of a tidal wave that struck all the coasts to eliminate 90% of the population of this country. It is the same in all countries that are close to the water. These cities are quite easily wiped off the face of the earth. And especially when we're talking about rims where tectonic plates come together, these can simply just fold in on themselves, and those cities could be 1,000 feet below the ground, 10,000 feet below the ground. In the ocean, there's evidence of whole continents just sinking beneath the sea.
Let's say hypothetically, something is coming this way. Let's say it's coming now, and being very far away, it has a very slight gravitational effect